Hello everyone, I'm Siri K studying at Sri Venkateswara College of Engineering, CSA branch 3rd SEM. I'm here to discuss about the discrete mathematics. Introduction to duality of proportion, logical implications and argument. Duality of proportion explores the relationship between two sets of proportions. Logical implications refers to the connections between statements where one proposition follows from another. This is about logical implications. And the definition of argumentation involves presenting a series of statements to persuade or convince an audience. Proportion in art is one of the 7 principles of art that refers to the relativity of size within the composition. This term describes the relationship between the size of one element of the composition compared to another. It's responsible for organizing and arranging the structural elements of the artwork. 4 types of proportions in art: standard proportion, altered proportion, hierarchical proportion, out of proportion. Scale versus proportion. Cube A is 10 centimeter in size in comparison to cube B that's only 5 centimeter. Proportion. Cube A is larger in relation to cube B. Cube B is smaller in relation to cube B. Understanding duality of proportion. Duality of proportion suggests that if two ratios are equal, their reciprocals are also equal. This concept is fundamental in mathematics and used in various fields such as geometry and physics. It helps in solving complex problems involving proportions and ratios. Exploring logical implications. Logical implications determine the validity of an argument based on the relationship between propositions. It involves deducing one statement from another, showing how the truth of one proposition guarantees the truth of another. Understanding logical implications is crucial in constructing sound arguments. Truth and validity in logical arguments. Expectations. Know and use the terms of the basic logic. Explain the difference between a necessary and a sufficient condition within the statement of a theorem. Logical argument statements. Conclusion, final statement, premises, all statements preceding the conclusion. Importance of logical implications in reasoning. Logical implications helps in analyzing the validity of arguments and identifying fallacies. They are essential in fields like philosophy, mathematics, and computer science. Recognizing logical implications enhances critical thinking skills and decision-making processes. This is the importance of logical implications in reasoning. Constructing a strong argument. A strong argument is based on valid reasoning and sound evidence. It presents a clear thesis supported by relevant premises and logical connections. Effective arguments consider opposing viewpoints and counter arguments. How to write an argument. Choose a topic, take a position, gather evidence, present argument logically, and 5. Provide counter arguments. Elements of a persuasive argument. Persuasive arguments appeal to emotions, logic, and credibility. They use rhetorical strategies to engage the audience and sway opinions. Incorporating evidence, examples, and expert opinions strengthens the persuasiveness of the argument. The pillars of the persuasion. Aristotle cut through the various rhetorical devices to name 3 means of persuasion. Use the related words and devices to give a definition to each mean. Related words, sympathy, empathy, devices, emotive language, codes. 3 means of persuasion: pathos, ethos, and logos. Identifying and analyzing fallacies in arguments. Fallacies are errors in reasoning that weaken the credibility of the argument. Common fallacies include an hominem attacks, straw man arguments, and false analogies. Recognizing fallacies helps in evaluating the strength of an argument. This is about identify. This is how to identify and analyze fallacies and arguments. Evaluating the strength of an argument. Accessing the validity of premises, logical connections, and evidence is crucial in determining the strength of the argument. Consider the relevance and sufficiency of supporting details to gauge the persuasiveness of the argument. Engage in critical thinking to analyze the coherence and consistency of the argument. Accessing inductive strength. Every deductive argument is either valid or invalid. Inductive strength is a matter of degree. An inductive argument may be strong, moderate, or weak if the premises provided the confer a high degree of probability on the truth of the conclusion. Therefore, the argument is strong. This is how to evaluate the strength of an argument. Next is applying duality of proportion, logical implications, and argument in real-world scenarios. These concepts play a very vital role in decision-making processes, problem-solving, and communication. Understanding duality of proportion helps in analyzing data and making informed judgments. Applying logical implications and constructing strong arguments enhances persuasive communication and effective reasoning. Deductive reasoning. Deductive reasoning is a logical process that involves drawing specific conclusions based on general principles or premises. Overview. Deductive reasoning is a top-down approach to logical thinking where specific conclusions are derived from the general principles or premises. It follows a structured format in which, if the premises are true and the reasoning is valid, the conclusion must also be true. This type of reasoning is commonly used in mathematics, formal logic, and philosophical thinking. Example, premise 1. All mammals have lungs. Premise 2. Dolphins are mammals. Conclusion, dolphins have lungs. In this example, the first premise establishes as a general principle that all mammals have lungs. The second premise identifies dolphins as a specific mammal. Using deductive reasoning, we can logically conclude that dolphins must have also lungs. Enhancing critical thinking skills through duality of proportion, logical implications, and argument. Engaging with these concepts fosters analytical thinking, problem-solving abilities, and effective communication. Developing proficiency in logical reasoning and argumentation strengthens cognitive skills and decision-making processes. Practicing the principles of duality of proportion, logical implications, and argument refines critical thinking skills and enhances intellectual capabilities. Thank you.